Hi. How's everyone doing? Welcome. I'm Stephen Clark, the head of D23, for those of you who don't know me. And we are thrilled to welcome you to the Walt Disney Studios for a very special screening. It's actually our first of the new From the Vaults series. And for those of you who are wondering where From the Vaults came from, we were planning our 2012 events. Ms. Laura Sanchez and a small group of us were back over here at the studio trying to figure out what kind of great experiences we were going to bring to you. And we started thinking, you know, we love the 50 and Fabulous Film Festival. I think I recognize a lot of faces from the film festival. How many of you come to the film festival? 50 and Fabulous? Almost everybody. It's great. But we don't always want to wait 50 years to be able to celebrate a great Disney film. And Newsies definitely falls into that category. Absolutely. So it's the 20th anniversary this year. We're thrilled about that. And actually it was on April 10th, 1992, the film opened to the public. And I have to tell you a little story that, you know, I'd probably be embarrassed to share, but it was my first year of college when the movie came out, and I was on spring break, so I was home with my family. And I went and saw the movie, and I loved it, and I went to Long's Drug Store, which was on the way home, and I remember getting my cassette tape of the Newsies soundtrack. And I got it. Do you remember those Disney cassette tapes? They are like this tall, and they're in this plastic that is impermeable. And I was so angry that I could not get into the plastic in the car, so we did not get to listen to it on the ride home. But luckily I lived close, got home, got out a huge pair of scissors, opened that thing, and then I think my parents, my brother and sister, and then later my college roommates were not happy to hear me singing along with it. I do know all the words. I will not sing them for you. I'll bore you with my horrible vocals. But one thing I will say about this screening is that you are all invited to sing along, dance along, you know, have a good time. This is a musical, so especially if you have a really good voice, just come down here and act it out. It's fun. It's going to be great. And we do have something special for you guys. So in sort of the grand D23 tradition, if you'd like to stand up and look under your seats, if you have a D23 sticker, and if you happen to sit next to empty seats, you might want to check them out too. We do have soundtracks. I do want to mention though, from a, you know, sort of a historical perspective, you look at, you know, when we sort of saw the second golden age of Disney animation and a renaissance of the animated musical, and we had films like The Little Mermaid and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast that really revived that musical genre for the company. Then we took on Newsies, and it was our first sort of, you know, foray into that live-action musical world. And, you know, for a lot of us, we immediately fell in love with the film. And what a great cast. Christian Bale, David Moscow, Bill Pullman, Anne Margaret, Robert Duvall, all that. But it certainly takes someone very special to bring it all together and execute the vision. And they found a fantastic director, did the choreography for Madonna. Of course, you had to have someone who could direct and dance. And also worked on a little film named Dirty Dancing. Some of you may have seen it. And that gentleman is Kenny Ortega. And so we are actually thrilled today to have Kenny Ortega here with us to chat with you a little bit about the film. So I'm going to introduce to you two gentlemen. First of all is John Singh. You may know he works with D23 on some of our publicity and marketing efforts. And he actually is going to sort of host Kenny and a few other folks from the film, and then we'll also open it up for Q&A. But John, interesting little note, and we'll get more information from him when he comes out here. John, at the time of the release of the film, worked for the Boca Raton News, and he reviewed Newsies. And he gave it a rave review, of course. Thank God, because Kenny's here. But we'll have to get John to give you a few quotes if you can remember them from his fabulous review for the film. But anyway, without further ado, I'd like to introduce John Singh and, of course, Kenny Ortega.
Hi.
Hi. Good afternoon.
You guys ready to see Newsies? How many of you have never seen this movie?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. then how many of you have never seen this movie on the big screen? Okay, now combine that, wait, keep your hands up, combine that with how many of you have never seen the movie at all? Wow. So we have quite an
I
experience.
bet you've seen it more than once.
So Stephen is right, actually. I that was one of the last things I did before I left newspapers, was to write a review of Newsies. April 1992, I gave it 4 stars. Yeah. And then I got fired. Then I came to work for Disney. Yeah. So
He knew something everyone else didn't.
So, hey, you guys, I just want to say, because I see all the cameras going right now, feel free, before and after the movie, to use your cameras, to take as much video or stills as you want, inside, outside. But while the movie's on, make sure to please turn off everything. You may not think it's a big deal, but I guarantee you the people sitting behind you think it's a really big deal, okay? So, and as Stephen said, sing, dance, have a good time. Kenny, 2 years ago, we did a screening of Newsies at the ArcLight in Pasadena, and we didn't have any idea what to expect. Was anybody there? Okay, a couple people. We had no idea what to expect, and I have to tell you, I had the pleasure for 6 years of working with George Lucas up at the ranch on Star Wars and Indiana Jones, so I've been to all sorts of crazy fan screenings. That beat all of them, that Newsies screening.
Yeah, I was there with my mother and my sister, who's here today, and I thought we were just going to come in and once again have the pleasure of watching Newsies on a big screen, and in fact, the audience became the experience as much as the film, and I was really thrown back. It was a beautiful thing to realize that so many people had found the movie and had come to love it as much as I have, and so I hope today that we can have that same kind of fun, and you can feel the freedom to join in and shout back at your favorite moments, and make an event out of it, yeah?
And if, by the way, if you tweet or your Facebook, if you tweet, use the @Disney D23 so everybody knows where it is. Now, we knew you were coming. You didn't know he was coming, but we knew you were coming. But until this morning, I didn't know that 2 other people were coming. So do you want to introduce them?
Yeah. Before I do that, though, I just want to say that I've had a creative partner all these years that's worked with me on so many films, dating back to Dirty Dancing and all of my high school musical films, and he's been responsible for helping me find, so many amazing performers. And he was the associate casting director for Newsies. He also played Candyman in the meta scenes backstage. But he single-handedly, found this incredible ensemble of young Newsies, and I just wanted to say hello to him. He's here visiting with us and seeing the movie today. Greg Smith, where are you? Stand up, say hello. Greg Smith, everybody. And also, it took a lot to sort of hold this entire production together, and there's so many people behind the scenes that were responsible for, keeping the engine going every single day and making it a vibrant and wonderful place to work when we made this film. And one of our producers is here, Mary Ann Sweeney. Where are you? There she is. Last night, I looked at my invitation for today, and I noticed that were a couple of names on the invitation of people that were going to be joining us. And I thought to myself, gosh, I know there are 2 people in town that I haven't seen in a long while, who I love very much and who are a big part of this movie. And it just, both of them I had run into, so I knew they were here. And I thought, why aren't they on the list? And I swear, this is the truth. When I arrived today, somebody walked up to me and said, oh, by the way, they're here. And so I couldn't be happier, because I love them as men, and they were incredibly important to our film. One of them, one of the greatest dancers still on the planet today, who played Swifty. Please say hello to Kevin Stea. And how many of you have seen the movie before? Well then, I'm not going to have to say much other than our beloved Crutchy, Marty Belafsky.
guys.
Hey, fellas.
Look at us.
Marty just said, I've been crunchy for 20 years.
We got it down.
No, it is. It's 20 years.